If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. Okay student, I welcome you to the second lecture of GATE electrical circuit series. So today I have taken again 5 questions, question number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, then let's try to solve it.
So in question number 6, what they are asking in 6, a practical current source is usually represented by with ideal voltage source. Now you know how your current source represents. This is your ideal current source. Whatever load you connect, whatever thing you connect here, it should always give you that ampere, I ampere or 5 ampere if you say it is 5 ampere, if you say 10 ampere it is 10 ampere. But this is ideal case. In practical you will never get always a fixed current 10 ampere because it will depend on load and you will get some reduction. So how to include that reduction here? That means the I that it is flowing out of here, you are not getting full I, because if you get full I then it is ideal case. But in practical how much you will get? You will get little less than I, something less than I. So how you include that less? That means your I, that current which is supposed to come out here, is not coming out here. So it has found another path, so that through that path it returns without coming out. So that's why you have to have a resistance, thinking of a resistance that is connected in parallel, so that you can think some of the current will flow through this, it will not come out. So that is why it is a resistance in parallel with a ideal current source. So you will not get the full current, you will get the current, but some of that current will be passing through this resistance, and this resistance obviously of high value, because if it is low value then all the current will pass through, you will get nothing. But because it is a current source, it is supposed to give current, and so it will have an internal resistance R which is in parallel, but the value will be very high. So the answer will be resistance in parallel with a ideal current source, that is your B. In 7, in the circuit shown in figure, this A2 reads this much and A3 reads this much, and they are asking you what A1 will read. Okay, so A2 is the current through resistance, so A2 reads 12 ampere. So if I take I2 is A2, this current I am taking I2, this is I3, and this is your I1. So I2 is the current through resistance. If I take this current as a reference current, that is in phasor I am giving 0 angle, that current, because this is across resistance, means this current will be, so if I draw the phasor diagram, this will be my I2. So obviously V2 will be also in this dimension, because why? Because in resistance the current and voltage, they are at same phase, there is no angle between this current and voltage. So this voltage is appearing across this is inductance, this is resistance, so the V3 will be also here. So if V3 is here, then what should be your I3? Because in inductor these two are parallel, that's why V2 and V3 are equal. So V2 is in this direction, so V3 should be in this direction. It can be small or large, that doesn't matter, I just want to know the direction, that's it. V2 can be smaller than I2, can be greater than I2. Okay, then so if you know the V3, then what will be I3? So in inductor current lags the voltage, so your I3 should be somewhere here. So I3 is given 9 ampere, so 9 at an angle of minus 90. Why minus 90? Because it is inductor, so it will be lagging. So what will be your I1? I1 will be equal to sum of these two. So question based on very basic, so it is 15 angle minus 36.86. But so in ammeter you will read only 15, so your A1 will read 15 ampere. That is the answer. So very basic questions on simple phasor diagrams on based on that. A battery with an internal resistance of 1 ohm is connected across a non-linear load whose VI characteristics is given by this. So you have a battery and the internal resistance, let the resistance is represented by this. This is the resistance, and it is a 10 volt battery, and this resistance is 1 ohm. You can feel it is the first question was current source. The current source, it was in parallel, the one resistance was in parallel, because you are not getting the full current. Here because it is a voltage source battery, so you will not get the full voltage, some voltage will be dropped. So how to indicate that drop? So connect a series resistance, so that when current pass through, you will get some drop, and here you will get 10 volt minus this drop. So that's why here it is connected in series to represent that phenomena, because you will be getting something less than that. Now somewhere a load is connected. What type of load I don't know, but the voltage across it V and the current through it is I, and there is a relation between these two. What is 7I equal to V square plus 2? This is the relation between these two. Okay, this equation they have given. Now you know from the normal circuit analysis also you can find the current this I, because if you know this voltage, what is this current? This voltage minus this voltage divided by resistance. What is the voltage across R? 10 this side, and this side it is V. This is plus, this is minus. So 10 volt minus V volt is the voltage across R. So what will be current? 10 volt minus V volt. 10 minus V is the volt. 10 minus V is the voltage across R divided by resistance. So this represents I equal to 10 minus V. So if you put 2 in 1, you will get the answer. So I am not solving it. I think you can do it. It is a quadratic equation. It will come 5 ohm and minus 14 ohm. So minus 14 it cannot be. So V is equal to 5 ohm. Once V is equal to 5 ohm, they have asked the current I. What is I? I is equal to 10 minus 5. That is also 5 ampere. So the answer is 5 ampere. Two identical coils of negligible resistance are connected across this. Draws a current of this. When terminals of one get reversed, then the current drawn is 8 ampere. The coefficient of coupling between. Now what is coefficient of coupling? In mutual inductance you will find coefficient of cuttance, that is L1 into L2. Here both the resistance identical coils, so L1 and L2 is same. So it is LL, that is KL square, that is KL. So this is your mutual inductance is KL. If I take my K is the coefficient of coupling. So when they are connected in series, that means in inductor, when they are connected in series means there should be some dot convention. If you reverse the terminal, then this dot convention will change. This will remain same, but if you connect this terminal here and that terminal here, it will go this side. Something of this fashion. So these are the two connections possible. These two are they have done. In one, they are getting 10 ampere when they supply this connection to a voltage source. This is across a voltage. Then they get 10 ampere. When they connect this branch across a voltage source, they get 8 ampere. So which one will be 10 ampere? Where this one is less, where the inductance is less, where the impedance is less, their current will be more. So 10 ampere current, obviously where the inductance is less, here in this case it will be L plus L minus 2, because if I go from this side, current is entering and here it is leaving, so minus 2. So this case is less, so here it will get 10 ampere. If you connect this one across this source, they are saying, then the current is 10 ampere. And if you connect that one across another source, same source, then you will get 8 ampere. That is their idea. So what will be the impedance in this case? So it will be 2L minus, what is M? 2KL. So if you take 2L common, 1 minus K. And what will be in this case? L plus 2M. So 2L plus 2KL. If you take 2L common, 1 plus K. Okay. So what is the current in this case? Current is equal to voltage divided by V by XL. What is XL? 2 pi FL. What is L? L is this one. 2L into 1 minus K. This is given 10 ampere. And V by 2 pi F. What is L here? Because here L is more, so that's why current is less. So you can use these two. You divide equation 1 by 2. If you divide it, then V, 2F, F, everything will be gone. So what will be left? Here it will be 1 minus K. And if you dividing 1 by 2, this divided by this, so 1 plus K will come up. So 1 plus K will come up, and then 1 minus K will go below, and everything will get cancelled. Then it is 10 by 8. I think again you can solve it. 8 plus 8K. 18K is equal to 2, or K is equal to 1 by 9, that is 0.11. Energy stored in a capacitor over a full cycle. You can solve it here itself. I can mark. The energy stored in capacitor over a circle when excited by any source, the same as that of DC source, half that due to the, you can see. So over a cycle. So over a cycle, the energy stored is always 0, because its capacitor in one half it will store, in another half it will deliver. So over the cycle, total energy drawn by the capacitor is 0. So for inductor also, in one half they will store the energy, in another half it will release the energy. So obviously this is 0. So by seeing only you can do it. There is no question of capacitor storing in case of AC. Full cycle it will be always 0, because one half it will store and another half it will deliver.
If you like the video, then press the like button and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.